Hey everybody, it's Kenny Cummins here. You're chilling with Kenny C. Thank you so much to everyone for joining me on this Thursday evening. And I'm joined with my one and only guest of the evening. She's got the alternative vibes, inspiring music that's on display. She released her song "Save Me," which came out late last year, and she's got more music on the way. I am joined with Lindsey. She is with me right now. How's it going?
Hi, how are you doing? It's great to be here.
Great to be here. Thank you so much for being on the show. Good to have you on. I like the background with the lights and you know, like the green lights. Um, feels like you're setting the mood here. I like it. I like it. Um, so I'm joined with Lindsay here. We'll get into her music journey and everything. Um, so how'd you get into music?
Yeah, I think it all kind of like, for me at least, started with more of the words. And growing up, I wrote a lot of poetry, and my sister played guitar. And one day she asked me like if I wanted to, make one of those into a song. And she always heard me when I was younger singing around, and I loved to sing. And she kind of like put two and two together, and she was like, "Let's do this." And it just kind of spiraled from there. And just went. I loved it. I was obsessed with it.
So you got a sister. Her name is Katie, by any chance?
No, it's Madeline.
Okay, okay, it's a different. Oh, I must have thought of somebody else. But I was a little curious.
No, you're good.
so, so I see. You've been through a lot, overcoming a lot of adversity. Um, so obviously, you being an artist, you want to tell a story. You want to get your message across per se. I want to talk about the "Save Me" song. Um, so talk about just writing it, just putting it together. Tell me the story behind "Save Me."
Yeah. Um, Save Me was kind of the second song to first song I ever kind of written. I I wrote it during a time when it was all really dark for me. I struggled with depression for a really long time, and it kind of got to a point where I always woke up to this heavy weight just on me, and I didn't know if I could like overcome it. And at one point it got really bad, and I didn't know how to ask for help. And writing that song, it was a started as a poem to just kind of like a cry for help, asking with words I didn't know how to say talking wise. Um, but yeah, I wrote that one, and towards the end of it, I got help, and I went to therapy, and my sister she really helped me find my foundation with God and to build from there. And he kind of gives me the strength every day to keep going and keep fighting. And yes, I feel those thoughts in your head, but when you find truth, you can combat it with no, those are lies. You are worth something. You're not worthless. And it started this journey of me overcoming, and where I am now is completely different. And I thought that song really helped me in healing, and if I could help someone else with their struggle, whatever it may be, mental health, drugs, relationship, whatever it could be, um, I just really thought it would be helpful, so I just decided to kinda share it with others.
Well, definitely appreciate you for sharing that. Um, we all go through something, whether people want to admit it or not, and we all just looking for some light at the end of the tunnel, looking for something or someone to tell us that, hey, I know times are hard, but everything's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And just for being around people that's going to be a helping hand, just be a phone call or text away. Whatever you may be going through, you don't have to deal with it for long. Um, I mean, these last few years, it's just been tough for all of us, obviously, and we're still dealing with some challenges here and there, even after we getting back to some normalcy, as people like to say. But what it boils down to is, just speak your truth, say what you feel, be around people that's gonna help you, that's gonna be there for
Yes.
you at the end of the day. So, um, a song like "Save Me" definitely can resonate with a lot of people, especially those that's just need some glimpse of hope. And music can be that a tool of hope. Uh, so it's what you're saying in the song is very inspiring. It's very uplifting. Just being that voice for people that just want some hope. So
Yeah.
it resonates what it boils down to. It's basically what I'm saying. So I
Thank
like
you.
I like I like the song. I like the vibes that goes with it. So it's very uh nice introduction as far as your first single on the platforms. So I see that you got some more music on the way. From my understanding,
Yeah.
you have a 5-song series of singles
Yeah.
out the
So
ashes.
I do. I call it Out of the Ashes. It's kind of like a project that I'm doing. It's gonna be singles, released as singles, but they're all kind of like tied together through like the album artwork and just like the storytelling of it all. The next one's actually gonna come out soon, so I'm really excited for that.
So you got a timetable for that next single release?
Yeah. So far, I think it's gonna be in the next few months, and then the other ones are gonna follow suit, like close behind.
Okay, so I see you've been compared to Evanescence, Imagine Dragons, Paramore. Um, I definitely dig Evanescence. Amy Lee, she's definitely a
Yeah.
treasure. Um, she is a strong voice, um, and just an incredible career for Evanescence. Just
Hmm.
I think they won the best new artist in the Grammys when they first came out, and they haven't looked back since. They just been one of the more intriguing bands since they came out. Um, so just talk about those type of acts and maybe some other acts that may have inspired you as an artist. Who else? Some of the other musicians or indie musicians or mainstream musicians have inspired you, Lindsay?
Yeah, of course. Uh, yeah, actually, funny enough, Evanescence was a really big like inspiration. Whenever I was younger, I heard her song "My Immortal" by her, and my ballet teacher at the time was doing her solo dance, and it was the first time I ever heard music that way that made you feel something as if you were inside of the song. And I always loved that. And I think she does a great job of being able to tell a story and like you feeling the emotion in it. Um, with other musicians throughout growing up, I listened to a lot of Paramore and Avril Lavigne and stuff like that. And then I got into a phase of like Imagine Dragons and Monsters of Men, and I loved all of it. And so when it came to me picking a lane, just so to speak, I just wanted to create one myself. um, to just pull from all of it, like pull all the different elements of all the artists that I loved growing up and to where I am now, and um, just taking those elements and blending them together from like the cinematic piece, the innovative piece, uh, the heavy guitars that I love whenever it comes to like um sorry, like 3 Days Grace and stuff like that. Like I listened to that pretty hard in college. It's just creating that space where you have the freedom to write whatever you like and not have to think, okay, well, this has to be alternative. This has to be indie or this has to be country. Just kind of figuring it out yourself. And that's a big inspiration for me is a lot of different music.
Definitely showing some versatility as an artist. That's a lot of different moods, different feels, different expressions. I must say, Avril Lavigne definitely had quite the comeback last year. But like
She definitely did.
I mean, who cannot forget Complicated, Skater Boy, those songs, you know. I must have been a TRL junkie when that when she first came to the scene. I'm like, who is this girl? And just learning more about her, she transcends. And just seeing her still doing music is fun to watch. So I'm very very happy for Avril.
Yeah.
She's awesome. So you mentioned you're working on a series of songs. What else do you have in the works for this year that your fans need to keep an eye on?
Yeah. Right now, I am planning out a line of live shows that I'm doing actually in the works. So it's really exciting. I want to build a set where, how, like I said at the beginning, with finding that first kind of sound of music, feeling like an experience rather than just uh, just going up, seeing a show, but creating that space where you feel like you're inside of it uh, has been really fun to create.
So yeah, definitely after what I heard from Save Me, I'm definitely looking forward to hearing more of these songs and series. As Lindsey pointed out, the next single's coming out in a couple months. So let's just say tentatively mid spring, at least springish.
Yeah, definitely
So
springish.
yeah, so she going once the weather gets a lot more decent out here, um, at least in most states anyway. She got more music for you all, some uplifting, music. So go check out Lindsay's "Save Me," her debut single. Is available on all the platforms. So go check it out. Um, so, well, let me ask you this, Lindsay. Um, as you going on with this year with the music and the shows, you definitely have a lot in store for you this year. What is your um, advice to some of the aspiring musicians out there that's trying to get their foot in the door, trying to at least find a path as far as getting the music going? What's your advice to the aspiring musicians out there?
Yeah, honestly, I would say don't let other people affect how you feel about your own music. Uh, Creating something is something so special and personal, and a lot of times people will have an opinion, and the one that matters most is yours. I I love the idea of thinking about how when you first thought about writing something and releasing music, you're scared that no one will love it or like it or hate it or whatever it may be. But if it's one person and listen to it, that's someone listening, and that's one more person than just you. And it's really exciting, but it is hard. But just make sure that your mindset is in a good place because it can get super doubting in your head. But whenever you are a musician, you always have that feeling of just I'll do whatever it takes to just keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely valid points there. Um, just being around, network with people um, that has the good interest in heart, um, and just being true to yourself, being authentic, and people are gonna really walk with you
Yeah.
if you stay true to yourself. You're a very inspiring person. Um, definitely have a good mind state. Just want definitely send a message to the world. Um, and it's definitely worth listening to. So just listen. I've heard "Save Me" a couple of times, and it's a deep song.
Yeah.
So just with that being your first single, just setting the tone of what's to come, and I'm definitely also looking forward to hear you go with different genres as well, because you know how music listeners, just people, just want to put artists in a box, just trying to
Yeah.
figure it out. And I'm guilty of that. Like, oh, what could this person be? But once you listen to the music, you get on this journey with these musicians. Like, man, I don't know what genre it is, but I like it. That's what it boils down to. If it makes you feel something, you're connected to it. Somebody is connected to this music, then fasten your seatbelts. Let's just say.
Yeah.
So it's awesome. Lindsey, first off, I just want to thank you for just joining me this evening. I definitely enjoyed chatting with you and learning about you, a woman of faith, a woman of love, and just spreading a good message, which is exactly what people need.
Thank
So
you.
um, be on the lookout for the series of songs, "Out of the Ashes." It's a
Yeah.
series of songs. Next singles coming in mid to late spring, and just keep um, she'll keep you posted on her social media sites. Speaking of which, I did try to I trying to find you on Instagram. I could and I can't seem to find you. So with that
Yeah.
being said, why don't
It's
you go ahead? Yeah.
yeah. It's Lindsey Rocks is what it's under.
Okay,
So
gotcha.
yeah, on my Instagram and my TikTok is gonna be Lindsey Rocks and also on my Facebook.
Gotcha. Lindsay Rocks.
Yeah.
So if you go to her website there and you click on that Instagram icon, you're not gonna get that Lindsay Rocks per se.
Yeah.
So Lindsay Rocks, that's ROCKS, and she's on Instagram. She's on all the media sites. So
All of them.
go check them out. You TikToking? Okay.
I
Well,
am.
so I'm very curious of TikTok. Okay, because
Mhm.
it's a popular app. People do dance moves and
I do.
comedy sketches, things like that.
Yep.
How would you describe your content of
It's
TikTok?
definitely not dancing. Um, I write poems and I put those on there. I always do like little nature walks and I always like put little poems over them. And I do covers of songs sometimes. And I just did one of Rhiannon, sorry, Fleetwood Mac, Dreams is what it was. And I do kind of like a process of me behind the scenes, like my band practices and stuff. It's really cool. I call it like a band cam. So that's kind of stuff what I do.
Okay, okay. She's showing some versatility, y'all.
Yeah.
And she's willing to give y'all the scoop on the behind the scenes with the band, rehearsing, getting ready for upcoming shows. That's awesome. So Lindsay Rocks is her social media name. Go check it out. Go check out the Save Me song that's available on all the platforms. And again, new single is coming in a few months. Thank you so much, Lindsay, for your time.
Yeah,
Um, Good energy, good vibes, and I'm looking forward to your future music. And I do host on Music Monday. That's coming up soon. And once your next release is out, I'll be playing it on a future playlist uh, on these TMV Cafe airwaves. So
nice.
what?
Thank you.
So I will be finding you on Instagram this time, and we'll go on from there. Thank you, Lindsay. You got any final words you want to say?
Uh, just thank you for having me on and being able to share the reason why I do music and why I wrote this song because it's really personal to me and it's exciting to finally share it to the world.
Well, thank you for sharing your gifts and sharing your message, and just being an example to people, man. In general, you got a bright future in music. So I'm hyped to hear your new music. Out of the ashes. Fight Song Serious. So go check out Lindsay on Save Me, which is available on all the platforms. You enjoy your evening. You enjoy the rest of your week.
Thank you.
All right. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.